He might be the type of person that never like really settles with somebody. Maybe he's like a, you know, he's like a bee going from flower to flower to flower.
That relationship is one of the greatest blessings and most important things in my life, in my whole journey in life. The friendship, the partnership, the life partnership, just the connection. Man, it's one of those things where you don't know truly like what true partnership and relationship is until you get there.
Child, I hate to be the bearer of bad news to Ms. J. Hud, but girl, didn't we already warn you that the common denominator was never good for you? Now here comes the tea. The word on the street is Common done slide on to somebody new and left Jen completely blindsided. How is this even making sense when he was just out here, all smiles, practically singing her praises a few days ago? And now folks are saying there's another woman keeping his bed warm while he's out here allegedly throwing shade at J. Hud after supposedly stepping out on her? Could this be payback because she turned down his proposal last year? Or is Common trying to flip the script because people are finally whispering about those old rumors, the ones hinting he might actually be playing for the other team?
Why can't anybody just be honest? They're waiting for Chrissy Teigen to get plastic surgery and end up Jackie O so that they can be roommates and make musicals together. Let's just be real.
Okay.
He'd rather spend time with John Legend than any of these bitches.
Who? I hope you're sitting down, loves, because the mess coming out of that camp is next level. If there's one thing we can't deny about Common, it's that he's got a resume full of some of Hollywood's most elite women. And I'm not just talking Jennifer Hudson. We're talking Serena Williams, Taraji P. Henson, Tiffany Haddish, Erykah Badu, Kim Jones, Ava DuVernay, Simone Bozeman, Jaguar Wright, and even Angela Rye. Straight up Hollywood creme de la creme. But here's the gag. Not a single one of them stuck around. The street's been saying for years that Common just ain't a forever type.
The pattern I found myself in and what was called love addiction, my therapist broke it down, was like that feeling of being like, oh, I'm in love, and it's that honeymoon period that people call it. I was addicted to that.
This is the same man who admitted that once the sparks die down, he's out the door. He even said himself, he's hooked on the feeling of love, not the act. For him, it's all about the chase and the honeymoon stage. And once that fades, he ghosts like the romance never happened. Well, damn. J. Hud really thought her charm alone was gonna turn Common into husband material and make him hang up his player card for good. Girl, the Delulu is loud. Now, to be fair, when they first started dating, Common was out here saying therapy had changed him. Even told another interviewer that he could finally see himself as the marrying type. He literally said if he ever tied the knot, it would be with J. Hud.
But I mean, I just wish Lonnie would tell the truth. You bisexual.
But lately, fans with eagle eyes have been clocking some suspicious shifts. Fewer public appearances, awkward body language, and Jennifer dropping cryptic posts that have everybody decoding them like it's a puzzle. And now, the whispers are growing. Allegedly, Common's already distracted by some fresh face, and after those unconfirmed reports of him out solo, looking real cozy with other women, nothing's been proven yet, but this is Common we're talking about. And history says it wouldn't be shocking one bit. But here's the part that's really raising eyebrows. The streets are buzzing that Common's been running his mouth, allegedly saying he can't even stand J. Hud anymore. Like, what could have gone down between them for him to start airing that kind of dirty laundry? Well, word is it might all trace back to some bruised ego. Sources are whispering that Common's still salty over J. Hud allegedly turning down his proposal just a couple months ago. Remember when the blogs were swirling with talk that he was planning to pop the question? Turns out insiders close to Jen claim she wasn't ready to walk down the aisle, especially not with a man whose love life is basically a revolving door. Sure, Common came in strong, sweeping her off her feet. But J. Hud's no fool. She's seen that track record with half of Hollywood's finest, and she wasn't about to rush into a lifelong commitment just to become another name on the list. But let's keep it real. This is not brand new information for Jen. Common's romantic resume has been public record for years. So it's a little wild that she's suddenly acting unsure about marrying him because of his past. She knew exactly what kind of history she was stepping into. Anyway, allegedly there was another big reason she pumped the brakes. People close to her say Jennifer was still carrying scars from her toxic relationship with David Otunga, the kind of trauma that can make you swear off marriage altogether. Word is she's openly said she doesn't see wedding bells in her future and refuses to rush into another serious commitment after what went down with David. And when J. Hud calls that relationship Toxic? Oh, we already know that means messy, draining, and full of pain. Sources claim Common tried to calm her fears, promising he was in it for the long haul, but Jen wasn't budging an inch. Sources say Common tried to reassure Jen, telling her that despite his long list of famous exes, he was committed to her. But Jen had deja vu. She'd already spent 9 years engaged once before, only to end up back at square one. She wasn't about to gamble her peace on a marriage she feared could shatter, leaving her starting over again. Maybe that moment changed everything. Maybe Common saw the writing on the wall and realized there was no real future. But here's where it gets really wild. When some folks are whispering that the reason Common allegedly couldn't stand J. Hud anymore is because he might not even like women like that, and he got tired of playing the part. Allegedly, of course. And let's not forget, his ex, Jaguar Wright, once said she wished the world knew the real truth about Common, claiming he doesn't actually love black women, only uses them for social clout, and is constantly chasing fame at their expense. Jaguar didn't hold back. She straight up claimed that Common would rather be with men, and that every woman who's been with him knows it. She even pointed out something she finds suspicious. Common's dated a lineup of high-profile women, and plenty of them have spoken about him publicly. But not one has ever mentioned his performance in the bedroom. Now, maybe that's just because these women are classy and choose to keep those details private, or maybe Jaguar's hinting at something deeper. Maybe, just maybe, she's telling the truth when she says Common allegedly prefers to play for the other team. Chile. This next part came from someone claiming first-hand knowledge of the situation. They said a friend's husband told them he was at a Hollywood event this past summer with his wife. She's connected to the industry. And Common ended up spending almost an hour of the night talking to him exclusively while the wife was busy working the event. Now here's the kicker. The guy didn't even know who Common was until later when his wife told him. Oh, and for context, the guy's white, tall, and fine as can be. Anyway, as the night wrapped up around 3 a.m. when the wife texted her husband to meet her outside, Common allegedly asked him, "So, what are you doing later tonight?" The man said, going home with my wife," and described the moment as awkward. When pressed, he insisted there was no misunderstanding about the tone. It was exactly how it sounded. On top of that, there's been ongoing speculation that Common may have a complicated relationship with his sexuality. Allegedly, part of it stems from a traumatic past. Claims that he was taken advantage of by another man, which, according to whispers, might leave him with conflicting feelings about intimacy with women. Now, I can't confirm any of these rumors about Common's preferences, but let's not act like all the smoke is one-sided, because some people are saying maybe J. Hud herself is part of the problem. Over the years, folks have noticed she also hasn't exactly had the best track record when it comes to keeping a man. Take her relationship with David Otunga. Messi doesn't even begin to cover it. Word is David suspected Jennifer of cheating, allegedly with music producer Molly Music. J. Hud never confirmed if there was actually a fling, but the situation blew up fast. In fact, she even addressed it in a protective order against David, claiming his jealousy went so far that he'd call her repeatedly while she was in a Chicago recording session. And when he couldn't reach her, she alleged he went as far as having their son try to film her to prove she was romantically involved with Molly Music. That protective order painted a picture of a relationship already drowning in accusations and mistrust. Jennifer also claimed that David's behavior toward her and their son had become increasingly aggressive and threatening, but David fired right back, saying she was lying and that because she had more pull in the industry, he was taking the brunt of the public backlash. He even argued that he had been their child's primary caregiver from day one, since Jennifer was constantly on the road, directly contradicting her legal filings that named her as the primary caregiver. David also accused Jennifer of making him choose family over work, only to later complain that he was freeloading. And because Jen hit him with some serious allegations, the police launched an investigation. But just a few months later, David was cleared. Jennifer eventually dropped her order of protection on the condition that David never set foot on her property again. Still, David insisted Jennifer was using her influence to paint him as the villain, when in reality, she was the one with the darker side. He's claimed more than once that the public image she sells is not the woman she is behind closed doors. And if there's any truth to that, maybe, just maybe, Common also saw that shadow side of J. Hud and decided he wanted no part of it. I've even seen whispers online claiming J. Hud started feeling like Common was beneath her simply because she pulls in more money than he does. And if that's true, that's cold. Especially since she knew exactly what she was signing up for from day one. But honestly, at this point, nobody really knows what's going on behind closed doors. Did Common cheat? Is he slipping back into his old habits? Or is J. Hud herself the real problem? For all we know, they could still be together and this whole whirlwind might be nothing but smoke. Either way, I'm dying to hear what you think about this mess, so drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, share this video, and make sure you subscribe. See you in the next one.